All right, welcome to this afternoon's media availability for Minnesota State men's hockey. Joining us now is the associate head coach of the Mavericks, Todd Knott. I'm going to ask Todd Knott, Coach Knott, to talk about his thoughts on this past weekend, which the Mavericks swept 8th-ranked Bowling Green, and then as we head into the series with Alabama Huntsville in this short week with a 2-game series down at Alabama Huntsville, which begins Thursday.
You know what, Bowling Green, for starters, it's one of those weekends as a staff, we sat down prior to the weekend and thought, we're going to learn something about our group here, just because Bowling Green's got a very similar team with a lot of veteran guys that have had a lot of success. And after the weekend, obviously, we're thrilled with the way our guys responded, especially with your old guys. I think we had 6 and 9 seniors score goals over the course of the weekend. And you need contributions throughout your entire lineup to be successful. But on those types of weekends, we found it's usually your old guys that have to find a way in between Lutz, Samolik, Spooner, and then obviously great goaltending by Dryden. And it was a great team effort. It wasn't always pretty. Thought both teams competed real hard. There wasn't a lot of open ice, playoff type intensity, and found a way both nights. Okay, and then of course, short work week with the series at Alabama Huntsville going Thursday, Friday. I know we sent some equipment all the way down there today. We did have a chance to skate earlier today, and then we're on the road tomorrow, which is a day earlier than we normally are. So maybe talk about the short work week and the fact that we're playing Alabama Huntsville this weekend. You know what? I've watched them play about 6 games on tape this year, and you don't need to look at their record in terms of being a good or bad team. I've watched them prior to COVID hitting their team, and they were shut down for about 3 weeks. They swept Ferris State. And then last weekend, actually against Tech, both nights, it's 1-1 going into the third period, and both very competitive games. So it's going to be a tough weekend for us. They're well coached, and I think they compete hard. They've got the 10th power play in the country right now. So our penalty kills can also have to be up to the task. Some questions from the masses here. Without playing teams outside the conference, is there any concern how that translates to hopefully the NCAA postseason for the Mavericks? Say that one more time, please. The question is about the fact that we're not playing any non-conference games. Okay. And how that the difficulty you have in trying to figure out where you fit in nationally and how that's going to affect, come postseason. You know what? That's out of our hands. That's a committee that actually is formed, and they're talking weekly right now. And they're still trying to decide how they're going to find that NCAA field. Right now, we're just trying to control what we can control, and that's winning games within our conference. So as you've shuttled here your lines a bit last week and got points from all of them, plus the extra skater on Saturday, how important is that depth heading down the stretch of the regular season? It's everything. And you saw it with even the week before where we've had some guys out of the lineup. And specifically on Saturday, I thought the lines gelled better. Friday night, I thought that was more special teams. Scored a couple power play goals. But I really did like Saturday. I thought we had balance. And when you look at the hard line with Fury, Spooner, Dewar, they've been the one constant right now. And again, old guys, Fury's a young guy in the line, but he plays a big, heavy game. And they've kind of been a spark plug for us every single night for the past 4 or 5 games. Something that everybody has to deal with. But last weekend was your first quote unquote normal weekend of hockey in a few weeks. Did that have any impact on how you guys were able to approach the weekend? Of course, this weekend goes back to an abnormal schedule, so maybe not. It did, you know what? And the one thing that was great for our guys that a lot of people forget about is mom and dad could see him play. And I think that's a big deal on Friday and Saturday night. There were a lot of parents in the stands and playing in front of them for the first time in a long time. Following up on that from Jack, he's talking about the uncertainty of the WCHA tournament with no announcement yet. Does that affect anything, not knowing exactly what's going to happen with the WCHA tournament? It does somewhat, but this year has been so out of whack anyway that, again, Coach Hastings, I think, does an incredible job leading to make sure our guys we're worried about one thing, and that's today. If we're worried, we learned real quick last year, and if you can believe it or not, I was pulling up in the parking lot, and it was us supposed to play Tech, if you remember, in the playoffs. And Coach asked me a question if we should think about having 2 games and getting a championship that weekend instead of going another weekend. And I remember looking at it thinking, I don't think we should do that. By the end of that day, the NCAA tournament was shut down, let alone just our games against Tech. So we're lucky to be playing right now, and we're just going to focus one day at a time. Question about Jared Spooner and how's he doing after the hit from Saturday's game? Unavailable for the weekend.
How valuable have your two senior defensemen been in terms of helping the freshmen who have been in the lineup every night?
Great question. Who asked that question?
That's Jason Feldman.
Absolutely love that question because we talk about it all the time as a group, and it's amazing. Now I'm down there with them in a game. The amount, I don't have to say much, put it that way, Jason, between Reese playing with Livingston and obviously two playing with McNeely. Those guys have been around a lot and they have a lot of respect for them both ways. And so it's fit really well early. And it does unbelievable things for the development of those players when it doesn't always have to be coaches. They're relying on the old guys.
Your experienced players, as you mentioned, stepped up to lead and contribute to the sweep over Bowling Green, yet others, newer players, are playing well and playing with intensity. What is the challenge in choosing those last couple of skaters for a series?
That's a real hard decision. And that's actually Coach Hastings loses sleep on that one sometimes. Especially when guys are doing their job, which is to make it hard on us in practice every week, because we truly make our lineup Monday through Thursday and how guys are competing. And now there's some obviously veterans that have a little hay in the barn, but for the most part, we do go Monday through Thursday in terms of making those decisions. And that's if they're doing their job, it gets really hard on Coach.